So, KB, what have you got for me this week?
So, how do you feel about Australian metal?
I like my Australian metal.
Yeah.
I like Parkway. I like Carnival,
Mm-hmm.
Butterfly Effect, Cog. You know, the more progressive side of Australian metal, the better, I would say.
Yeah. So, have you heard of a band called Polaris?
I have actually. When I was coming back from paintball, which I covered in a previous podcast, I did have a couple of listens of Polaris in the car.
Mm-hmm.
The tune you have chosen for me, I don't think I've listened to yet, but
Okay.
I don't really know anything about them hardly, so
Okay. So we'll start with saying
might
that.
as well start from scratch.
Yeah. So they're an Australian metalcore band, consisting of vocalist Jamie Hales, which I've got to say, one of the top harsh vocalists in metal today. He's just, you listen to him, you think, how the can you do that for an entire gig? Guitarist
Totally.
Ryan Sue, Rick Schneider, bassist Jake Steinhauser, and drummer Daniel Finari. So they released their debut album, The Mortal Coil, which you probably heard Lucid on. Had critical acclaim, and was nominated for 2018 ARIA Award for Best Hard Rock. Because it was more of like a sort of post-hardcore / metalcore album. The Mortal Coil, but their newest album now, The Death of Me, which released on the 21st of February 2020 this year through Resistant Sharp Tone Records, has gone into more of a progressive metalcore sort of thing with some post-rock elements, but it's definitely much heavier than The Mortal Coil. So I have picked a song for you which has been one of my favorite songs to listen to this year. I've not got tired of it since it came out in February. So this is called Landmine, and
Nice.
I'm glad you haven't listened to this because you were in for a wild ride with this one. So,
Okie dokie.
So
looking forward to this.
if there's anything else I haven't left out, cool. Okay, so let's go. So ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Very nice riffage. Wow. Wow, yeah, you're right. He really sings with his heart on his sleeve, you can tell. I like a hay. I like a good hay.
It's very anthemic, isn't it?
Yeah. There's a bit of Parkway in this, I feel.
Yeah?
Very in the kind of hay rousing. I'm thinking of like things like Vice Grip or something like that, or Prey, songs like that. Not just saying it because they're Australian. It genuinely, some of it reminds me. But obviously not on the riffage. It's a lot more technical. Yep, architects all over that. So is this the same guy that screams?
Sometimes there is a separate clean vocalist, but live he does sing some cleans as well. Jamie Hills.
Oh, here we go. Feel the breakdown coming on. What's the mosh call gonna be? Very nice. What did he say there?
I don't know.
This is real shoulder shuffling kind of metal, isn't it? Brilliant guitar playing. Yep.
And then a blast beat right at the end.
Yeah.
So you're still on the deathcore spree, don't worry about that.
Not really much I can say about this, really, just solid.
That's the thing, all the songs we played today is solid.
Sure.
So yeah,
Nice.
Landmine by Polaris. There's such a good album. Masochist is another good song. That's it's more of a lighter song, but like the way it goes is great. You've listened to Vagabond, you told me, and then you've got Creatures of Habit, which is also one of my favorites off the album. So yeah, definite good listen.
I mean, you can tell immediately, you know, the sort of the Architects influence, and you know, there's a bit of post-hardcore in there in the clean vocals. Elements of Parkway I feel like were creeping in. I don't know whether it's just because they were Australian I was thinking that way, but I don't know. The anthemic quality is very Parkway.
Yeah,
you know.
But I feel like this band is going to go very far. Like, you know,
how long have they been going for again?
So, well, their first album was in 2017, so very, very new.
Very recent then.
They formed in 2012, so still quite fresh, fresh meat. And so since then, they've had a new guitarist with Ryan Slew, and they had an EP called Dichotomy, I think it's called. The word is pronounced. And yeah, they're carrying on going and strong as ever. So
their most streamed song has 17 million plays, so I think they're doing all right.
Yeah, the Remedy is probably their most well-known song. Because it's just like,
I don't know if I listened to that one. I might have done.
It's very much an anthem. Like, that would be the song that they would, like, in a few years they'd play as the last song in their set.
Yeah, well, that was good. That was very solid. I'll probably listen to the whole album. You mentioned post rock before, so are there other albums a bit more kind of atmospheric then?
Kind of like, well, just more post-hardcore / metalcore-ish sort of thing. So, like, you can still recognize the stem, but it's definitely, I don't think it's just as heavy as this latest album. Like, this latest album is definitely a step in a different direction, but in a good way. I think this is this is what they would help them lean towards more.
Yeah, solid enough, and and I'll definitely check out more of this band in the future.
Good stuff.
Really, that's all I can say.
God, you're spreading your sayings onto me and how good stuff.